There are some mysteries that just stick around, that get under your skin. And for over 70 years, one of Australia's most bizarre and enduring cases has done just that. It's a story that starts with a man found dead on a beach, no ID, no obvious cause of death, and just one single incredibly cryptic clue that would have investigators scratching their heads for decades.
And this was the clue. Just two little words found on a scrap of paper hidden away in the man's clothing. These two words are what turned an unexplained death into an absolute international sensation.
So what does it even mean? Tamam shud. It's Persian, and it translates to "it is ended" or "the end." Pretty ominous, right? But what ended? Was it his life? Some kind of secret mission? This phrase isn't just a clue, it's really the entire heart of this whole mystery. Okay, so let's start this story where all began on a quiet beach in South Australia with the discovery that kicked off an investigation that would span more than 70 years. So, picture this. It's the evening of November 30th, 1948. A few people notice a man just kind of lounging against a seawall on the beach. They figure he's had a bit too much to drink, or maybe he's just sleeping it off. No big deal. But then the next morning, he's still there, in the very same peaceful-looking position. Only now, it's obvious he's passed away. And right from the get-go, investigators are hit with all these bizarre contradictions. I mean, the man was in his 40s in peak physical shape. He was well-dressed in a full suit and tie on a warm beach. There were no signs of a struggle, no violence. None of it made any sense. And to make things even stranger, he had no wallet, no ID, nothing. And this was no accident. Someone had gone to the trouble of painstakingly removing every single label from his clothes. We're talking even from his socks and his underwear. This was a clear, calculated effort to make this man a complete ghost. So for months, the case was just a total dead end, a classic John Doe. But then, investigators found something they had missed the first time around, a tiny little detail that was about to change absolutely everything. Months into the investigation, during a second look at the man's trousers, they found it. A tiny, almost invisible pocket that had been professionally sewn into the waistband. It was clearly made to hide something small and important. And what was inside that pocket? A tightly rolled up little scrap of paper printed with those two words, "Tamam shud." This was it. The very first real clue they had in this whole case. While a quick search at the local library identified the source pretty fast, the paper had been torn right from the last page of a book of 12th century Persian poems called The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. All of a sudden, this wasn't just a body on a beach anymore. It was like something out of a novel, with a book of ancient poetry right at the center of it all. And this one literary clue? It sent the entire investigation spiraling down a wild rabbit hole of secret codes, potential lovers, and even Cold War espionage. The police put out a public appeal, and you won't believe it, they actually found the exact copy of the book that the scrap was torn from, and inside, two brand new leads. First, a really strange sequence of letters, a possible code that to this day the best cryptographers have not been able to crack, and second, a phone number. So that phone number belonged to a local nurse. She's only known to the public by the pseudonym Jestin. And when the police talked to her, she denied everything, said she didn't know the man. But, and this is a big but, when they showed her a plaster cast of his face, she was visibly horrified. She then refused to talk any further, and she took whatever secrets she had with her to the grave. I mean, think about all the pieces here. You've got a man whose identity was completely wiped. You've got a secret code that no one can break. The cause of death was suspected to be an untraceable poison, and all of this is happening near sensitive military research sites, right at the height of the Cold War. The idea that this was all about espionage wasn't just plausible, it was incredibly compelling. For over 70 years, that's pretty much where the story ended, just a whole lot of speculation and mystery. But then, decades later, modern science stepped in and just blew the case wide open. 70+ years. For more than 70 years, he was just the Somerton Man. His real name, his story, a total blank. Until 2022, using DNA from a single hair, a hair found in that original plaster cast, researchers painstakingly built a family tree using forensic genealogy, and they finally gave him his name back, Carl Charles Webb, an electrical engineer from Melbourne. After 7 long decades, the ghost finally had an identity. But here's the thing. Giving a man his name back isn't exactly the same as solving the mystery of his death. The core puzzle, well, it's far from finished. So let's just lay it all out. We finally have his identity, which is a massive win for everyone involved. But look at what's left. We still have no idea how he actually died. We don't know what that code means. We don't know his connection to Justin, or even why an electrical engineer from Melbourne was on that beach in Adelaide in the first place. Solving one piece of this puzzle has just made it even clearer how many pieces are still missing. So we know who the Somerton man was. We know his name was Carl Webb, but the real mystery, the why of it all, that remains as silent as he was on that seawall all those years ago. Will we ever get to know his full story? Or maybe, for his secrets, it really is, Tamam should. The end.